Hello lads, right, before we get into the video, a small little favour to ask. Inching very close to 500,000 subscribers, such a mental number. Let's try and hit it before the end of the year. Anyway, that's enough of that, let's just crack back into the video. Hello, welcome to HITC Sport, and the Barcelona boardroom is a complete and utter joke. How has this been allowed to happen? You have somehow fumbled your way to August 2020, where Lionel Messi, the greatest footballer to ever breathe air, actually wants to quit your club. Lionel Messi has been a Barcelona player since Lady Marmalade were in the f***ing charts. Shrek was in the cinema and I was wetting my bed on a bi-weekly basis. Messi has been at this club since before he had hair on his balls. The man has carved his footballing legacy at this club. Scored over 600 goals, won 10 league titles, 4 Champions Leagues, 6 Ballon d'Ors. It's the perfect marriage. And somehow this clown circus of Barcelona suits in the boardroom have stumbled this once great club into a pit of despair. Conceding 8 goals in 90 minutes against Bayern Munich, hiring an Everton reject as the manager, and actually forcing Messi to quit the club. And what's even worse, you could honestly lose him for free. I'm sorry, the Arsenal board were criticised for letting their best players run down their contracts only to leave on a pittance, but I'm sorry, losing the greatest footballer to ever live, the current Ballon d'Or winner, for less than a fucking Snickers. Are we actually living in a world where Messi could cost the same transfer fee as Jeff Hendrick? You could buy a urine-soaked lollipop in a public nightclub toilet for more than what Messi can go for. Apparently it's written into his contract that he can just quit the club for free when he wants. That's how you know a footballer has a club yanked by the testicles. When you're that powerless, that desperate not to upset him, that you basically just agree that he can leave your club for free. What else is in the contract? Do his kids get free tuition? Does the Barca president get down on his hands and knees to give Messi's mother a weekly bath? The only thing the club can do is take him to court, trying to prove that the free transfer clause expired considering it's August and not June when the season would usually end. Then a club would have to pay its release clause of £629 million, which is more than 3 times the fucking world record. And I'm sorry, I know Messi is an utter genius, but paying more than £500 million for a 33-year-old who only has about 3 years left in the tank, and with just 1 year left on his contract anyway, that sort of financial recklessness, even thinking about it, oh, even that makes my brain hurt. But anyway, so why does he want to leave? Well, he openly recommended the return of Neymar. The board didn't listen, instead giving him Antoine Griezmann, who apparently Messi wasn't altogether impressed with. And guess what? Over a year later, Griezmann is looking like one of the most expensive flops of all time, while Neymar reached a Champions League final, so looks like he was right. Messi didn't want Ernesto Valverde sacked, considering he'd won them the league title, but the board didn't listen, instead bidding him for a guy who would preside over the most embarrassing 6 months in the club's history. And apparently Ronald Koeman, apparently you know, the guy replaced by Big Sam, told Messi, your privileges in the squad are over. Don't say that to Lionel Messi. You might as well have taken a dump on the club's badge. I'm sorry, okay. Clearly Koeman has a fragile ego, probably shattered from the amount of P45s he's received over the years, but striding into the Nou Camp and saying this to the genuine GOAT, it's laughably pathetic. What sort of inferiority complex does he have that he feels like he can talk this way to Messi? Is this him trying to stamp his mark on the club? He knows himself he does not have the credentials to be a Barcelona manager, having been sacked 54 f***ing times. So him striding up to the big man and treating him like a piece of leftover cheese, your privileges are over. Christ above. Listen, if Messi wants out, which he does, then he is leaving this club one way or another. Even if the club can scare off potential employers with a laughably out-of-touch price tag. If you're in the Barcelona board, do you really want to pay someone £600,000 a week when they don't want to be there? Messi is the most expensive 33-year-old footballer to ever play the goddamn game. He earns £26 million a year. He alone could buy Joe Linton and employ him to wax his car. You don't want that financial stain moping about the park, disinterested or even refusing to play. It would be a financial disaster. The fact the Barcelona board have effectively forced him to end what should have been an amazing one club legacy, and this way, it's a special type of incompetence. So where could he go? One of the most marketable sports people in history. Price of all, he'll probably sell 1 million shirts within 20 minutes of his medical. Man City are favourites because of that Pep Guardiola connection, and I'm sorry, but if he goes there, Liverpool can start packing their bags because the title race is done. There is a gaping hole in City's attack now that Leroy Sané is quit for Bayern Munich, but replacing him with the greatest footballer of all time, oh, game over. And it would be the perfect icing on the fairy tale cake for Man City fans. Gone from paying season tickets to watch Danny Mills, Kiki Musampa and Samaras to finally getting their hands on a 6-time Ballon d'Or winner. It would just be insane. Who else? PSG are linked. The front line of Neymar, Kylian Mbappe and Messi would be the greatest strike force of all time. I'm sorry, but it just would. Imagine the utter cottage pie French football defences coming up against those 3 every week. They'd be taking the most terrified pre-match dumps of all time. They'd be so scared they'd probably forget to go to the bastard toilet. Christ, can you imagine the stench on the floor? Each dressing room would smell of creatine, Weetabix and fear. For some reason, Inter Milan have been linked with Messi for a while. I can't understand understand why. This is a club who spent 18 months filling their shopping basket with Premier League rejects. You don't go from signing Victor Moses and Ashley Young to trying your luck with Messi. It's like going down the homeless shelter in search of a hug before later asking out a supermodel. It doesn't really work like that. Inter are a great club, yes, but they didn't even make it out of their Champions League group. They lost to Barcelona twice this season and didn't even win the Europa League as a consolation prize. There's more chance of Ed Sheeran recording a song that doesn't make me want to vomit than there is of Messi winding up in Italy.
Just heard Frank Lampard is now out for Messi. Some window this if Lamps pulls it off.
Rio, you have my word. If Lamps pulls this off, I will personally get a bowl of lasagna and smear it on my balls. Apparently Juventus are showing an interest, which is the height of greed. You already have one footballing superstar in your team. Do you really need two? Seeing these two footballing enemies and rivals at Juventus, it'd be like watching Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder hold hands at a picnic. It just would look weird. Anyway, sticking with the Barcelona theme, and Ronald Koeman, let me talk about Ronald Koeman, because Luis Suarez has been treated absolutely appallingly. Apparently Koeman ended his Barcelona career inside a 60-second phone call. Inside the length of time it takes to make a sandwich? Inside the length of time it takes to make love to a human woman? I'm sorry, is this how we treat Barcelona legends now? Suarez is a Champions League winner, a 4-time La Liga champion, and the 3rd highest goal scorer in the history of your club. And he's managed all this despite only signing for the club relatively late in his career at 27. So treating him this way, it's nonsense. Yes, I get that 8-2 defeat was embarrassing. Yes, the squad needs an overhaul, and the Uruguayan should probably be slowly phased out of the starting lineup. But there's threats of terminating his contract. I'm sorry, the 8-2 was not his fault. Instead of threatening to sack the only Barcelona player who scored that night, maybe you should start by looking at the defense. By all means, Nelson Semedo, Clement Longley, have them executed at dawn. But show a bit of respect for Suarez. And I'm sorry, the utter arrogance again of Koeman. He's in the job less than a week and decided that the man of Suarez's talents is beneath him. Right, shall I remind you all of their standard of centre forwards Koeman has worked with throughout his career? Nuno Gomez, Aruna Kone, Nikola Zikic, Shane Long. You pay £12 million for Shane Long. If you pay that much money for him, you cannot pretend you are suddenly above the standard of Luis Suarez. He signed Graziano Pelle 3 times. You've just spent 2 years coaching Luke de Jong. I'm sorry, but Suarez, even at 33, is the greatest striker you've ever had the pleasure of working with, and now 20 minutes into landing your dream job, you decide he's about as much use as an empty yogurt pot. Koeman, I get you had a superstar playing career. That probably gave you an ego the size of a jumbo jet, but I would have thought being sacked 26 times would have quelled your ego just a little. Let's not forget, less than 3 years ago, you were literally replaced in the dugout by Sam Allardyce. And now Billy Big Bollocks decides to walk in and just destroy Barcelona legends' careers. Suarez should be clapped off the pitch, given a guard of honor, a testimonial, anything. Not this! Because were it not for the existence of Messi, Suarez would rightfully be held up as this generation's Barcelona superstar. The likes of Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Luis Figo, even Koeman himself. I'm sorry, but Suarez did more for this club than any of those footballers. Well, why are we surprised about this treatment? Samuel Eto'o was also the 3rd highest goal scorer for the club at the time. He was scoring in Champions League finals, winning trebles for the club, and was still treated as some sort of malnourished leper. Anyway, moving on, the England squad has been released. Normally I wouldn't care who or what makes it into the Gareth Southgate's team, but the omission of Jack Grealish, oh, that tickles my wizard stick pink. After a season being built up by the media, with people willing him into the England squad, clearly Gareth Southgate thinks he's about as much use as a squash calippo. Next month marks 5 delicious years since he switched allegiance to England. Lads, he's been officially English, waiting for that call-up for half a decade. Oh lads, it's beautiful. It's like a woman dumping her childhood sweetheart, having spent the last 6 months of the relationship texting another man, and then 5 years later, he still won't give her the time of day. And what's more, this decision to leave this human ball of hair gel stuck in his couch, it seems to have broken the internet. You might say,
Oh, Irish guy, you're just salty because he turned down Ireland.
yeah. Yeah, so obviously, the only way I'd be more salty is if I spent the last hour downing 10 pints of bastard seawater. But lads, okay, this is a guy who used our national pride and dignity as a bastard audition tape for the England gig. We, a proud country, are apparently just a set of training wheels for someone like Jack. So yes, the fact that he's going to turn 25 years of age and gone pretty much halfway through his entire playing career without receiving a single England call-up, come on lads, it's pretty hilarious. When he declared for England, he was probably hoping for an outside shot at Euro 2016. That was 3 international tournaments ago. Lad, are you sure you wouldn't rather have stuck with us? Because I promise you'd have over 40 caps by now, would have played every game at Euro 2016. You would be a national god. You'd be our biggest creative talent since Damien Duff. Your name would be plastered on about 10,000 shirts at the Aviva Stadium every match day. Kids in Ireland would idolise you. There'd be a new generation of Aston Villa fans littered across Irish schools. But no, instead, you've made your choice. Next international break that comes around, enjoy the couch!